let me pose a question to everyone. What's better than seeing Mob go off at 100% after getting his shirt insulted by Dimple in last week's episode? The answer is what episode 6 just delivered of season 3 of Mob Psycho 100. It is the character development, the character arc, that has completely come full circle with Dimple and Mob's relationship, to the point where it doesn't feel like a bait and switch, where next week comes around and Dimple comes back, and I mean, hell, Mob Psycho, maybe it could do that, and probably would work out, because Mob Psycho knows how to write any scene perfectly. But Mob's tears at the end, it said it all. Mob is reacting to what seems to be Dimple's death, his final hurrah. You know, it could have went so many ways this episode. It could have went in so many more catastrophic designs. And instead, our boy Mob takes that 100% and releases it in a way that he's stripped down to nothing. To just a human boy who's exhausted, who's stressed, but can look at things rationally. Because he always has that timer, he always has that percentage creeping up. So negative emotions are always his biggest foil. But to be able to release that and to walk into something that any person wouldn't do. I mean, essentially that long-ass finger that he turned into like a dagger, no one would walk into that because you assume that shit would pierce you like it was the sharpest blade on earth. But as we see with Mob, he looks at it and says, you know what, Dimple, like, you care about me. The reason why this is all happening, even though Dimple started off as arguably one of the most conniest of characters, right? He was just a con artist wanting to manipulate Mob. We've seen over the show that Dimple has grown to love Mob in a lot of ways. But I mean, based on the level of betrayal that it looked like from my point of view, I could see Mob separating himself from Dimple. But instead, Mob saw through something that even I didn't see. It's that, you know, he had everything. He could have done everything he wanted, yet he still wanted Mob to be with him. He was giving him the opportunity. And the fact that Dimple wasn't able to do anything other than be like, damn it, this boy got to me. I have everything I dreamed of. I essentially became a god, yet it wasn't enough because it wasn't fun without Mob by my side. And I thought to myself, I was good with that. I truly was. I was like, you know what? This looks great. This looks like this is what we should have for a midway point of a season, right? Probably we'll have a different villain that we'll fight at the very end. And then in comes the tree. It becomes its own entity that then just starts swarming. And immediately I got this kind of like, this knot in my stomach. I was like, well, Mob's not dying. But would they do it to Dimple? Because I thought to myself, Dimple's arc, it feels over in a way. Like, not to say like when a character arc comes to an end, they have to die or anything. But when you do have certain characters that have had such a roller coaster of are they good, are they bad, and there's so much complexity there, you think to yourself, there's only two ways to go. Either A, you get some brief moments with them, fully embracing who they are now, or you kill them off. And seemingly, they went with the most painful option. I gotta say, Mob Psycho 100, I believe this entire season was done before the anime started broadcasting, and I think episodes like these really flex that, because we were essentially watching Superman fly through the damn sky, and the sheer number of the fake mobs that were popping up, you know, Psycho Helmet, and just the way they were animating everything, and to see by the end, I think this is one of the most clever directing choices they've done, where you know damn well Dimple can't look the way he does when he first starts talking to a sleeping mob who's just waking up. He looks relatively unwinded. I was like, there's no way. And then throughout the conversation, you sometimes see him as his green little body, or then you'll see him with one arm, and you're just, at least for me, watching that thinking, this is goodbye. Isn't it? This is the final hurrah. And to see that parting scene, it was one of those moments where it didn't feel like the tears were gonna come. It didn't feel like I was heartbroken. Not because I didn't like Dimple or anything. I think Dimple, alongside Regan, alongside Mob, those three's character development and arcs have been completely next level, peak anime as I would call it. But it's something about, it's satisfying seeing where we went with this arc initially, with seeing like Dimple, what looks to be like him screwing Mob over, to seeing Mob embrace him as a friend, saying, you know, anyone who doubted, like, this is who he truly was. And it makes you feel, damn, like, you know, to see where Dimple's gone comparing season 1 ever since the beginning there to where he is now, it was something about it felt like the right move. And just to see the TV, when you start seeing it just lifted, Mob doesn't remember anything, and Mob just goes to bed. I thought what was going to happen was Mob would be like sleeping, and then like he would like jolt up realizing what happened. But the fact that he realized in the moment and just was thankful for what Dimple did for him, it goes to show that even when anyone else would have doubted in what Dimple was doing, viewers included, myself included, Mob saw through it. And the fact that instead of going to 100% and lashing out like we've been teased throughout the show, instead, we saw Mob as he's always been, a normal boy. And I mean, seriously, if you go back to even the reviews of this season, right? I've been saying, the thing about Mob Psycho 100 is that it's a slice-of-life character piece about a boy growing up and not knowing where to go in life, surrounded by supernatural anomalies. And I think this episode best sums that up better than any other, because you strip Mob down to just a boy, confused as shit, but appreciative that this ghostly friend of his was honest about what he thought of his shirt. Didn't lie to him like everyone else saying it looks good on you. Instead, he was brutally honest, which is what Dimple's been to him for many, many episodes now. And I think that's what takes an episode like this and takes an already, what I've been saying. You can go back, watch the earlier videos of the season. Season 2 was peak Mob Psycho, and I said very early into this season, even if we haven't got there yet, this season has the potential to take Mob Psycho 100 up one more level, and we could potentially leave Season 3 saying all 3 seasons of this complete adaptation got better with time. And at this point, we're here. We're only halfway through the season, and I feel like it's already surpassed my quality hype of Season 2. And that's not taking a piss on Season 2. Season 2 is amazing. It's a masterpiece as well. But I can't lie, what I've seen over the past few episodes of this season just feels like every character is getting that bow. Reagan kind of got it last season, Dimple got it here, Mob's been getting it throughout the story, and I feel like the remaining episodes are really going to finish Mob's story strong and end this season saying, if that's not a 10 out of 10 anime production, I don't know what is. I mean, I've always said Mob Psycho 100 deserves far more hype than it gets, but I do think an episode like this, alongside last week's episode, it gets way more buzz, which then hopefully gets more people to jump aboard before the season wraps up. But this was powerful. It just, at this point, I couldn't even pick a favorite moment over the anime as a whole, because Reagan's point in Season 2, Dimple's point in Season 3, and Mob's entire journey, like, there's just so many good character moments that makes this show just stand above so many other anime out there. But yeah, it was emotional, it was badass, it was just perfect. That's honestly how I'd put it. But of course, as always, I'll pass the torch over to everyone. I'm sure people have some emotional responses to this episode, their own theories on where we might go from here, so do let me know what you're feeling, leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new around here. You can also consider supporting the Patreon if you want to see some exclusive live reaction series that I'm reacting to. As well, you can get video shoutouts like a few individuals are getting today. We got Angel Arigara, Swedish Fish, JQKL. So I appreciate the support, everyone. So until next time, everyone, please take care. Have a good one.